Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I wanted to talk about disappointing game sequels. And we've all had this happen where we play a game in a series, we love it, and we can't wait for the next one, and we get it and it's complete crap. So I just wanted to talk about some of mine today, and start off with a pair of games from the same series, and those are Final Fantasy X-2 and Tactics Advance. Now, X-2, I really loved Final Fantasy X. The story wasn't amazing, but it was interesting, and I really liked the ending. It left some questions unanswered, but that's okay. Not everything has to be wrapped up perfectly. And then they announced this game, and we got it, and it was really disappointing. It starts off with like a concert of Yuna being like a pop star or American Idol or something, and the game just goes downhill from there. Besides that intro song, the music actually is really good, but that intro song was totally disappointing. And the gameplay, instead of the sphere grid, you have like these dress spheres you have to collect, and it's very much like Charlie's Angels meets Barbie. It's just not a lot of fun. It's really girly. The story is completely stupid, and this is kind of the start of the downfall of Square, in my opinion. And then we have Tactics Advance. Now, big problem I have with this game is the law system, and it wouldn't have been so bad, but it's completely arbitrary. It's just like, well, one day fire is bad, and next day, you can't use swords, and, there's no rhyme or reason to it. And the thing that really sucks about it is, like, it doesn't gray out the abilities you can't use, so you may forget that, certain laws in place and then accidentally do it, and, you're screwed. You get a yellow penalty card, and or you get a red card and get sent to jail. And not only do you lose that character, but you also lose some of your battle rewards, like money or AP. So, it's always bad when you break a law. And then, not only that, but like the story in Final Fantasy Tactics, I loved it. It was, really mature, had a lot going on. Not too much character depth within your party, but, it was really good. And this one, it's, the main character, he gets transferred to a fantasy world. He wants to go home. That's pretty much it. It's not that deep, it's not that interesting, and it's just got kind of a childish vibe to it, and quite a change from the original game. Okay, so the next one, I actually don't have the game, well, the physical game, I have it on a download, but that's Gran Turismo for the PSP. And I've already done a review on this game. It's really disappointing. The main thing is like, this game was supposed to come out at the PSP launch, back in 2005, I think. And it ended up being delayed, and then we kind of had no info on it, and everybody thought it was vaporware. And then when they announced the PSP Go, it's like, oh hey, we're coming out with Gran Turismo PSP now. And we got it, and it was just a really gimped version of a console GT game. Like, I always look at this and I'm like, how hard would it have been to put this on here? All you have to do is update the graphics a little bit, keep the gameplay exactly the same, keep all the rally races and everything, and the simulation mode. But they didn't. They completely took out the simulation mode. This is basically just the arcade mode, and you do have some very, very light tuning options, and you can only have 30 different cars tuned at a time, because they have to be in your favorites menu, and you only have 30 of those. So, that's annoying. And then, there's no upgrades to buy or anything. There's just no sense of accomplishment when you're playing this game. It's just like a very, pick up and play, 5-10 minutes, and that would have been fine, but you should have also included the simulation mode, so we would have some options. So, very disappointing on that one. Next one, First two games in this series were great. They had great characters, really fun story, very, very charming. And then we got Grandia 3. Now the game starts off, you do have a couple of somewhat interesting characters. The story is somewhat interesting. Without spoiling it, about 10 hours in, something happens, and the rest of the game sucks from that point forward. At least story-wise and character-wise. That being said, this game has my favorite battle system in any RPG. It's just so much fun. You can knock enemies into the air, combo them in the air. You can cancel out their attacks. There's just a great magic system, great special attack system. So that part of the game is outstanding. The rest of it, not so much. And the final one, you guys probably know what this is. I did a 19-minute review on it because the game sucks that bad. And Xenosaga 2. You know, the original Xenosaga was a great game, great story, combat, characters, just everything about it. And then when they decided to make this game, they decided to change just about everything that made the first game so good. The only thing they kept was the story, which was excellent, but the rest of the gameplay was just really... It seemed like they rushed it. Like, the battle system, you know, the whole break system would have worked well for bosses, but for normal fights, you know, it just takes too long. It takes like 7-8 minutes for random encounters sometimes, and that's not acceptable, especially early in the game. Another thing too is, you know, you get the game and, like, you know, you look at Xenosaga 1, it's one disc, like 40-60 hours, and then when you first get this game, you're like, holy crap, 2 discs, this game has got to be freaking huge. And, you know, after 8 hours, it says insert disc 2, and you're like, what? So yeah, that is really disappointing too. And the big problem is the battle system, but, you know, the music is terrible. They actually, I think the second dungeon in the game is repeated in a different season, and that becomes the third dungeon. So, you know, if you didn't like the second dungeon, tough, you have to play it again. And the voice acting is pretty awful too in this game. There are some okay characters, but Cosmos, awful. And I really hate this human look they gave all the characters. But yeah, that's about it. So those were the most disappointing sequels I'd ever played. If you guys have any sequels that disappointed you greatly, go ahead, leave a comment down below. You know, video response, you can just PM me the link or put the link down below. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.